Today we're unveiling 5 rare and fascinating Lincoln pennies, coins with hidden stories, unexpected errors, and values that surprise even seasoned collectors. Stay tuned as we explore the secrets behind each of these modern treasures. Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets. Coin number 1, 1969, S Doubled Die Obverse DDO Lincoln Cent. Today we are diving deep into the story of the 1969 S Doubled Die Obverse Lincoln Cent, a coin so rare, so misunderstood, and so powerful that even the US government once believed it shouldn't exist. The birth of a legendary mistake. To understand why this coin is so special, we have to go back to 1969 at the San Francisco Mint. During this time, Lincoln cents were produced in massive quantities. The mint used master dies to create working dies, which were then used to strike coins. But during this process, something went very wrong. A working die received 2 misaligned impressions from the master die. Instead of being perfectly lined up, the second impression shifted slightly. This mistake created true double die doubling. Not machine doubling, not wear, not damage, but a real mint error locked permanently into the die. Every coin struck from that die carried the same dramatic doubling, and that's how the 1969 S Doubled Die Obverse was born. What makes this doubling so extreme? This isn't the kind of doubling you need a microscope to see. On genuine examples, the doubling is bold, thick, and unmistakable. You can clearly see it on Liberty, strongest area. In God we trust. The date 1969. Even Lincoln's profile shows subtle separation. This is important because many fake or altered coins exist. But true 1969 S DDO coins scream authenticity the moment you see them. Collectors often say, if you have to ask whether it's doubled, it probably isn't. But with this coin, the shocking government response. Here's where the story takes a dark turn. When collectors first started finding these coins, the US Secret Service stepped in. They believed the coins were counterfeits. Why? Because the doubling was so strong that officials thought criminals must have altered them. People had their coins confiscated. Some were destroyed. Others were never returned. It took expert numismatists years to prove that the 1969 S DDO was a legitimate mint error. By then, many examples were already gone forever. This alone makes surviving pieces incredibly rare. How rare is the 1969 S DDO? Experts estimate that fewer than 100 genuine examples exist today. Think about that. Out of hundreds of millions of pennies minted in 1969, fewer than 100 escaped destruction. That puts this coin in the same rarity class as some of America's most famous errors. And unlike many rare coins, this one can still be found raw, ungraded, hiding in old collections. Market value, where things get serious. This is where collectors' hearts start racing. Approximate values. Very fine, VF, $30,000, $40,000. Extremely fine, XF, $45,000, $60,000. About uncirculated, AU, $70,000, $90,000. Mint state, MS63 plus, $100,000, $150,000 plus. Some top-grade examples have pushed well beyond $675 at auction, all for a penny. A coin originally worth 1 cent. How to identify a real one? Very important. Because of its value, this coin is heavily faked. Here's what to check. Mint mark must have an S under the date. The mint mark itself is not doubled, a key authentication point. Doubling style. Strong, clean separation, rounded edges, not flat or shelf-like. Machine doubling looks flat. This does not. Key areas. Liberty. In God we trust. Data 1999. Professional authentication. Always use PCGS or NGC. Never sell raw without expert verification. One real coin can change your life. One fake can cost you everything. Why collectors worship this coin. This penny has everything collectors dream of. Extreme rarity, massive historical controversy, bold visible error, strong demand, legendary status. It's often called the king of modern Lincoln cent errors. And unlike gold coins locked away in vaults, this one still has mystery around it. People want to believe they might find one. That hope fuels demand. You're cleaning out an old drawer. Inside, a handful of pennies wrapped in paper. Most are worthless. Then one catches your eye. The letters look thick. The date looks strange. Your hands start shaking. You don't tell anyone. You research quietly. You send it for grading. Weeks later, the email arrives. Genuine, 1969 Doubled Die Obverse. That moment, that's why collectors never stop searching. Final message for viewers. The 1969 Doubled Die Obverse is not just a coin. It's proof that mistakes can become legends. Small objects can hold massive value. History hides in plain sight. Never ignore a penny. Never assume something is common. And never forget, sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones everyone else overlooked, because 1 cent can change everything. Coin number 2, 1964 Lincoln penny, no mint mark. The story behind the 1964 penny. The year 1964 was one of the most important years in U.S. coin history. America was facing a serious coin shortage. People were saving coins, metal prices were rising, and demand was exploding. To solve this crisis, the U.S. Mint went into overdrive. The Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark on pennies at the time, struck more than 2.6 billion Lincoln cents in 1964 alone. That's not millions, that's billions. Coins were produced fast, dies were pushed to their limits, and quality control was not the top priority. And this is exactly where rarity begins. What no mint mark really means. When you see a 1964 penny with no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. At that time, Philadelphia Mall, no mint mark. Denver, owned D. San Francisco, no dares. So, while most people assume no mint mark means something is missing, collectors know it means Philadelphia origin, and that matters. Why this penny is more special than it looks. Yes, billions were made. Yes, most are common. But here's the key truth collectors understand. Condition creates rarity. Most 1964 pennies were heavily circulated, scratched, discolored, turned brown over time. Very few survived in perfect, untouched condition. And those survivors? They're the ones collectors fight over. The importance of color, RDRBBN. Collectors classify copper pennies by color. BN, brown, lowest value. RB, red-brown, moderate value. RD, full red, highest value. A full red RD 1964 penny with original mint luster is extremely difficult to find today. Why? Because copper reacts with air, moisture, and skin oils. Time destroys red color. That's why bright red examples command strong prices. High-grade survivors, the real treasure. Here's where value climbs fast. Circulated examples, face value to a few cents. Uncirculated, a few dollars. MS65 RD, $20. $40, MS66 RD, $75, $150, MS67 RD, $500, 10,000 TRO. Yes, a penny worth thousands or more is real, and it all comes down to preservation. Errors that make the 1964 penny expensive. Because dies were used aggressively in 1964, many error coins were created. Some of the most valuable include 1. Doubled Die Obverse, DDO, doubling on liberty, doubling on the date 1964, doubling on In God We Trust. Strong, rounded doubling, not machine doubling is what collectors seek. 2 off-center strikes, design shifted away from the center. The more dramatic and visible the date, the better. High-grade examples bring big money. 3. Broad strike errors, coin struck without a color, results in a wider flattened penny, popular among error collectors. 4. Clipped planches, curved or straight metal missing. Mint cutting error before striking. Authentic clips raise value significantly. The mystery of the 1964 special strike, SMS. Now comes the mystery. Some 1964 pennies exist with sharp details, satin-like surfaces, strong strikes unlike normal circulation coins. These are believed to be 1964 special strike, SMS coins. If genuine, they are extremely rare and have sold for thousands to tens of thousands of dollars. They remain one of the most debated Lincoln cent mysteries. How to check your 1964 penny. If you own one, here's what to examine. A bright red color. A sharp Lincoln details. Strong lettering. As signs of doubling. Unusual shapes or clips. A weight around 3 to 11 grams. Always use a magnifier, never rush. Professional grading. The value multiplier. If your coin appears high grade, error variety, or unusual in any way, professional grading by PCGS or NGC is essential. Grading confirms authenticity, protects the coin, maximizes resale value. Never clean a coin. Cleaning destroys collector value instantly. Why collectors still search this penny? The 1964 no mint mark penny represents America's busiest minting year. Classic copper composition, a playground for error collectors. Affordable entry into high-grade collecting. Endless discovery potential. Even experienced collectors still check them. Final message for viewers. The 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark teaches a powerful lesson. Common doesn't mean worthless. Condition can create rarity. Errors turn history into treasure. And value often hides in plain sight. So the next time you see an old penny, don't ignore it. Because sometimes, the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises. Coin number 3, 1992, D. Lincoln cent, close AM, red. The origin of the 1992 D close AM penny. By 1992, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents each year, with coins struck at the Denver Mint D. Most of these pennies were standard, mass-produced, and circulated widely. But occasionally the minting process created unique varieties, coins that collectors would later seek at any cost. The close AM variety occurs when the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side of the penny are positioned unusually close together. This is a subtle die variation caused by a misalignment or hub doubling during the die-making process. To the untrained eye, it's barely noticeable, but to coin enthusiasts, this makes the coin highly desirable. Why the 1992 D close AM is special. In rare die variety, although millions of 1992 D pennies were minted, only a small percentage display the close AM feature. The rarity comes not from the coin's age, but from the die variation itself. 2. Red RD coloration. The red designation means the penny retains nearly all of its original copper luster. RD, red, most valuable. RB, red-brown, medium. BN, brown, least valuable. A close AM penny in red condition is extremely collectible. 3. Collector demand. Varieties like this are part of the modern Lincoln cent collecting hobby. The combination of die variety plus perfect color, eyes, high demand at auctions and coin shows. How to identify a 1992 D close AM penny. Reverse details. Look closely at the word America. The A and M letters are extremely close, sometimes almost touching. Color and condition. Bright original red RD surface, minimal wear or scratches. Sharp strike with full detail on wheat stalks, if applicable. Mint mark. Look for the D under the date to confirm Denver origin. Market value of the 1992 D close AM penny. Values depend on condition. Circulated, 5.20. EU condition, 25.50. MS63 RD, 100, 200. MS65 RD, $300, 500. Gem MS66 RD, $700, 12,000 plus. Collectors often pay a premium for coins with both close AM variety and full red color. Even subtle differences in color can affect the market price dramatically. The story behind the coin. You're sorting through a jar of pennies you found in your grandparents' attic. Most are dull, brown, and scratched. Then a shiny copper coin catches your eye. It's a 1992 D penny, bright red and gleaming. You notice the letters A and M are unusually close together. Your heart skips a beat. Could this be a rare variety worth hundreds of dollars? The excitement of discovering a close AM penny is one of the thrills of modern coin collecting. Even in an era of billions of coins minted, hidden treasures still appear in ordinary change. Common mistakes collectors make. Assuming all 1992 D pennies are the same. Confusing close AM with normal letter spacing. Ignoring color designation. Handling coins without care. Reducing their grade. Always check carefully under magnification and preserve the coin in a protective holder. Collector tips. Use 5x, 10x magnification to confirm close AM. Store in airtight holders to protect red luster. Avoid touching the coin with bare hands. Check both color and die variety. Consider professional grading for high-value coins. Why this coin is exciting today. The 1992 D close AM penny reminds us that rarity isn't just old age, it's detail. Even coins minted in the modern era can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars if they have unique die, errors, and exceptional condition. Collectors enjoy searching through bulk coins, rolls, and jars, hoping to find a variety like this. Every close AM penny tells a story of meticulous die creation, minting precision, and historical context. Final message for viewers. The 1992 D1 cent close AM red Lincoln penny proves even modern coins can be valuable. Subtle details make a big difference. Condition, color, and die variety determine collector value. One penny can be more than it seems. So next time you check your change or old coin jars, keep an eye out for tiny letters. The next hidden treasure could be waiting in your hands. Coin number 4, 1984, Lincoln cent, Doubled Die Obverse era. The era of modern errors. The 1980s were a turning point in U.S. coin production. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies every year using faster presses, new die-making techniques, and thinner copper-plated zinc planchets. Speed increased. Quality control suffered, and that's exactly how legendary errors like the 1984 DDO were born. What is a doubled die obverse? A doubled die obverse occurs before the coin is struck. It happens when the hub impresses the design into the die more than once. The impressions are misaligned. The die itself becomes doubled. Every coin struck from that die will show the same doubling. This is not machine doubling. This is a true mint error, and collectors know the difference. Why the 1984 DDO is so famous. Many doubled die pennies exist, but very few are instantly recognizable. The 1984 DDO is famous for one key detail: the doubled ear. Lincoln's ear shows strong doubling, thick, rounded contours, clear separation, extra depth. It's so obvious that collectors often spot it without magnification. This makes it one of the most iconic doubled die pennies ever made. Other doubling details to look for. Besides the ear, doubling can also appear on Liberty, In God We Trust. The date 1984, Lincoln's eye and beard. True doubling looks rounded and raised, not flat or shelf-like. Composition and specifications. By 1984, pennies were no longer solid copper. The 1984 cent is zinc, 2.5% copper plating, weight 2.5 grams. This makes high-grade survival even harder. Zinc corrodes easily when damaged. Why most 1984 pennies look bad today? Because these coins were mass-produced, lightly plated, meant for circulation only. Most suffered from plating blisters, zinc rot, scratches and dents, edge splits. Finding a clean, high-grade 1984 DDO is extremely difficult. Condition value. Here's where the numbers get exciting. Circulated, DDO visible, 50, 150. A condition, $200, $350. MS63, $400, $600. MS65, $800, $1,500. MS66 plus, $2,000, $4,000 plus. Yes, a penny from the 1980s can sell for thousands of dollars, all because of one doubled ear. Common mistakes collectors make. Confusing machine doubling with true DDO. Cleaning the coin destroys value. Ignoring minor plating damage. Not checking the ear closely. A genuine 1984 DDO has bold, unmistakable doubling. If it looks weak or flat, it's not the real deal. How to identify a real 1984 DDO. Here's a quick checklist. Strong doubled ear, rounded doubling, not flat. Doubling visible under 5x, 10x magnification. No harsh cleaning marks. A normal weight, 2.5 g. And no plating bubbles covering details. Professional grading is strongly recommended. The role of third-party grading. Because of high value in fakes, grading is crucial. Trusted services. Pessigit, NGC, Anax. A slabbed 1984 DDO instantly gains authenticity, market trust, higher resale value. Raw coins sell for less. Graded coins dominate auctions. Why collectors love this coin? The 1984 DDO offers easy identification, strong visual impact, affordable entry-level era, high upside value, legendary status. It's one of the best modern treasure hunt coins ever created. Final message for viewers. The 1984 Doubled Die Obverse Lincoln cent proves something powerful. Valuable coins don't have to be old. Errors create rarity. Knowledge creates opportunity. One small detail can change everything. So the next time you see an ordinary-looking penny, take a second look at the ear, because history, value, and excitement might be staring right back at you. Coin number 5, 1966 Lincoln penny, no mint mark. The strange era of the 1960s. The mid-1960s were chaotic for U.S. coinage. America was facing a severe coin shortage. People were hoarding coins, metal prices were unstable, and the government feared that collectors were pulling coins out of circulation. So in 1965, the US Mint made a dramatic decision. Mint marks were completely removed from coins. From 1965 to 1967, no US coins carried mint marks, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. That's why the 1966 penny has no mint mark by design, not by mistake. What no mint mark means in 1966, unlike earlier years, no D, no S, no indication of where the coin was made. This was intentional. The goal was to discourage collectors and force coins back into circulation. Ironically, that decision created one of the most fascinating collecting periods ever. The composition, classic American copper. The 1966 penny was struck in the traditional 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, weight 311 grams. This was before the dramatic copper changes of the 1980s. That means every 1966 penny carries the rich, heavy copper feel collectors love. Why most 1966 pennies look terrible today? Because people were encouraged to spend coins, not save them. Most 1966 pennies were heavily circulated, scratched and dented, turned dark brown, exposed to moisture and oils. High-quality examples were never meant to survive. That's why high-grade 1966 pennies are far rarer than people think. Color makes all the difference. Just like other copper cents, collectors judge 1966 pennies by color. BN, brown, common, low value. RB, red-brown, moderate value. RD, full red, rare and valuable. Finding a 1966 penny with full original red color is extremely difficult today. Copper fades fast, and time has not been kind. The power of condition, where value explodes. Here's where the magic happens. Circulated, 1C, 5C. Uncirculated, 1, 3. MS65RD, $20, $40. MS66RD, $80, $150. MS67RD, $600, ones and 200 plows. Yes, a penny from the 1960s can cross the four-figure mark. Condition is everything. Errors that turn this penny into a treasure because of rushed production and worn dies. Many 1966 pennies contain errors. 1. Doubled die varieties. Doubling on In God We Trust. Doubling on the date, 1966. Doubling on Liberty. True doubled dies show rounded, strong doubling, not flat machine doubling. Zweiten, die cracks and cuts. Raised cracks across the coin. Large metal blobs near letters or rims. Highly collectible and dramatic. 3. Off-center strikes. Design shifted away from center. If the date is visible, value increases sharply. Eye appeal matters. 4. Broad strikes. Coin struck without a collar. Results in a wider than normal penny. Popular among era collectors. Special strike, SMS, the hidden elite. Now comes the secret few know. From 1965-1967, the Mint produced special Mint set, SMS coins instead of proof sets. These coins have sharp strikes, satin-like surfaces, strong details, no proof mirrors. A genuine 1966 SMS penny can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on condition. Many are still undiscovered in old collections. How to identify a high-value 1966 penny? Here's what collectors check. A bright red color, a smooth original luster, sharp Lincoln hair details, clean fields with minimal marks. Any signs of doubling or errors? To weight close to 311 grams. A magnifier is essential. Common myths about the 1966 penny. No mint mark means error. False. It was intentional. All 1966 pennies are rare. False in only high grade and errors. Brown pennies are valuable. Usually not. Knowledge separates treasure from pocket change. Should you get it graded? Professional grading is worth it if your coin is full red, appears MS66 or better, has visible errors, shows SMS characteristics. Grading protects and multiplies value. Never clean the coin. Cleaning kills collector interest instantly. Why collectors still hunt this coin? The 1966 penny represents a historic no-mint mark era. Classic copper composition, unique minting policies. Hidden high-grade rarity, endless error potential. It's common until it isn't. Final message for viewers. The 1966 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, reminds us, not all rare coins look old. Government decisions shape rarity. Condition creates value. History often hides in plain sight. So the next time you see a simple copper penny from the 1960s, don't dismiss it, because sometimes the quietest coins tell the loudest stories. That's a wrap on today's incredible lineup of Lincoln cents. Each of these 5 coins tells its own fascinating story. Some carry rare errors, some showcase minting quirks, and all have proven that even the smallest coins can hold immense value. Remember, what may seem like an ordinary penny in your change jar could actually be a hidden treasure. Collectors know that condition, rarity, and unique features can turn a simple 1-cent coin into something priceless. So keep exploring, examine your coins carefully, and stay curious because the next rare find could be hiding right under your nose. History, value, and excitement are all waiting in the coins you think you already know. Never underestimate the small details. Sometimes, the tiniest coins have the biggest stories.